All right. Well, we've had about 58% of our audience vote in our opening poll today. So feel free to keep on filling that out. But I'm going to share the results of where we are so far. And again, you can always drop more specific answers into the chat. So, what is your job title? Largest percentage was 20% of rehabilitation professionals. Other high percentage points are assistive technology specialist, teacher of the visually impaired, students, and Braille transcribers. We have a few general ed teachers, O&M instructors with us today, and 19% said others. So feel free to drop that in the chat if you'd like to let us know what kind of job you're doing. Where are you from? The largest two categories were the Northeast and Southeast of the United States. We've got great representation across the US, including some representation from US territories and international visitors. So thanks so much for joining us for this webinar today. How'd you hear about this webinar? 88% said email from APH. We're so glad to know that those work so well in getting the message out about our webinars. So I'm going to end the polling, but feel free to drop more responses in the chat, and I will hand it back to you, Mike.
Wonderful. Well, thanks very much, Betsy. So I think I'll, thank you everyone for coming today. And so today we're going to talk about some low vision products that are offered through Vispero and through American Printing House for the Blind. And Paul, do you want to go over some of the housekeeping stuff here?
Sure, I'd be happy to do that. So what's our intent? What are we wanting to do here? So obviously we want to collaborate with our partners. We appreciate them and the work they do. And so we like to make sure that you know more about what kind of stuff they're doing. We're going to provide insights into classroom solutions. We're going to share information on products that are quota products and non-quota products. So some of what we're talking about today are things that we've partnered with Vispero to make. Some are their own products that are not available from APH. Our housekeeping, as we've told you, there is no ACV REP credit for this today, but we do have closed captioning. Please put questions in the chat. This is a 1-hour presentation in case you weren't aware of that. Mike will probably, depending on how the questions come in, he may just answer them as we go. If not, he'll answer them as we go from one product to another. So our presenter is Mike Wood, Strategic Account Manager, Education. He has done quite a bit with our webinars in the past. Glad to have him back with us today. And there are no specific learning objectives. This is all just for information and so that you can look at what products might be best for you in your situation, your students, your clients, or for you personally. So with that in mind, we'll turn it over to Mike to start talking about the different products.
Hey, thanks, Paul. So as Paul mentioned, my name is Michael Wood, Strategic Accounts Manager for Education. My email is mwood@vispero.com. That's MWOOD @VISPERO.com. Feel free if there's any questions after the fact, or if you want to trial one of these devices, reach out. I'm more than happy to get one in your hands, either through one of our resellers or dealers, or directly one of my colleagues or myself. So today, I'm going to cover in the session a couple different products. So there's a lot of products actually now that I'm looking at it to cover in the hour, but we're going to cover the Ruby XL HD, the Video Mag HD, the Compact 10 HD, the Transformer, the Jupiter. I have a surprise new product that I'm going to talk about, and training, and then we'll follow up at the very end with some Q&A. So the Ruby XL HD, so right now I have a graphic of the Ruby XL HD, or an image of it on the screen. And this is our #1 handheld video magnifier in the industry. It's the #1. People love it. It's tried and true. It's stood up to the test of time. It's got a great 5-inch screen, so it's still pocket size. A lot of people will throw this in their shirt pocket. It comes with a carrying case that has a belt loop on it, and it's very bright colored, so it's easy to know what buttons do what by the color, or also by the tactile feeling on them. They've got kind of little dots and ridges on the sides. It does come, if you don't like the red, Ruby color. It does come in a black and white option as well. So as I mentioned, it's a 5-inch screen. The nice thing with these is, you know, you kind of transition. If you have somebody that's using an optical magnifier, so they've got a, you know, old school, I call them like the Sherlock Holmes magnifier, right? Your optical glass magnifier or plastic magnifier. That's a static one size, 8x, 10x, you know, 4x magnification. That's it. With something like the Ruby XL HD, you can go from 2x all the way up to 14x magnification. So you've got a nice range of magnification. It's lightweight, 10.5 ounces. One of the key features with this is reading with no blur. So in a minute, I'm going to show you a video of somebody using the Ruby. There is no audio on it, so don't think that you can't hear something on there. There's no audio. I'll kind of talk through the video. But the nice thing is when you're moving it across the text, there's no blurring of the text on the screen. You've got a flip out handle. Does have a battery, so it's a 3-hour continuous use battery. That's continuous use of keeping that screen on, playing with it the entire 3 hours. So you can get through a day actually, because you're going to mostly use this for spot reading. People in the grocery store looking at prices in schools. It's great for students to find where they need to be in, you know, at a book or whatnot. Freeze frame, so you can take a snapshot of an image. You can actually store images on there. One of my favorite features is the guideline for reading and masking. So you can actually cut out the top and the bottom of the screen, so you kind of can focus on one line of text at a time, which makes it really easy. Or that guideline for reading, which helps you with tracking along, you know, an entire line of text, then moving down to the next line. You've got all your different color contrast modes. There's 20 options in here. As I mentioned, you can take snapshots and save them and then download them to your computer later, or you can do a slideshow if you wanted to do a slideshow. I've had people do that where they put photos of their grandkids and they might have it that they then watch the photos slide, you know, kind of scroll through as a slideshow effect on the Ruby. So this video here is not going to have any audio, but this is going to show a gentleman using the Ruby. So you kind of get a feeling of how you would use it. And I'm going to talk over it to describe it. So you'll notice here, he pulls out the handle to hold it. He's reading a prescription bottle. So that's the handle I mentioned. There's 2 different options for the handle. You can have it at the angle he has it there or all the way out. And again, you've got on the front your buttons to zoom in, zoom out, change your color contrast, take a snapshot as he is now. You think about using it for prescriptions. Take a snapshot of the prescription that you need to refill, then go to the phone, make the call to the pharmacy, and you have that magnified on the screen. It sits at a nice angle. So when you're reading, you can sit back comfortably, and he's moving that along the text there. So that's where I was talking about the no blurring as you're moving it. There's that continuous magnification zoom. So you've got all those ranges from the 2 to the 14x, your color contrasts. And then it collapses down, that built-in reading stand, plugs in. It is a rechargeable lithium battery. Again, 3 hours of continuous use and ready to go whenever and wherever you want to go, really. So that's the video of the Ruby XL HD there. So with that said, that product, and thank you, Betsy, for putting that in there, is not quota. It is $895 retail price. And oh, Paul, I'm going to jump it over to you actually with the first poll question we have.
Okay, and this is something that we will call this, not a pre-reading. We'll just see if you can figure this one out. So we'll be talking about windows and lines here. So Betsy Ann, if you want to put this poll question up. So tracking while reading is a good use of the window and line feature of the Ruby HD XL. So which of the following could a student not track well with these functions? Would it be an Excel spreadsheet in high school economics? A history of the world video projected on a smart board? A story problem in elementary math? A chemical formula in junior high chemistry? Or poetry in middle school English language arts class? So which one of those would not be able to be tracked very well with that window and line function? The Excel spreadsheet, the history of the world video, the story problem, the chemical formula, or poetry?
We've got some A students in this class here today.
It's also a great time to throw questions out if you have that. As we've said, this is a non-quota product available only through Vispero and not through APH.
So Barbara asked, does the Ruby XLHD have a self-viewing mode? It does not. So the Ruby XLHD does not, but the Ruby 7 does. So the Ruby 7, you kind of bump up to a 7-inch screen. It has a pivoting camera on it that can swivel and do some distance, your close-up magnification as the Ruby XL does, and then pivot it all the way to yourself to do self-facing. So no. And oftentimes what I like to tell people is a lot of these products, you know, it's not going to be the one that you just buy that one and that's going to meet all of your needs. It's kind of like the tool belt theory of you need a few different tools on your tool belt. So this is great. Again, like I mentioned, for spot reading. A little bit later, we're going to talk about a product that is available through quota funds that I sell a lot of, both those and then also with the Ruby because of the fact that you'd use that for spot reading and then you kind of transition to the larger thing if you're doing more reading. And we'll talk about that a little bit, the Jupiter. Thanks for sharing that page too there, Betsy. So I am going to end that poll there. I think most of the answers are in. So the correct answer is history of the world video projected on a smart board. The Ruby XL HD, it does not do distance. So it's kind of a trick question. But all of the others, if you're doing formulas in chemistry, you're reading poetry, a math problem or spreadsheet, you can use that guideline. And it's actually really nice just because it helps you keep track of where you're at on the page.
Great. Thank you, Mike, for reviewing those poll questions. And thanks everybody for responding.
No worries. Thanks. So the next product we're going to talk about is the VideoMag HD. So this is a quota product and you don't have to be using quota funds if you want to buy this. You can call APH and buy this with cash, credit card, purchase order, or quota funds. But this is based on that Ruby kind of, I guess, model in a way. So there's a couple different models in the Ruby line. There's the Ruby Classic, the Ruby HD, the Ruby XL HD, and then the Ruby 7. So the VideoMag HD is based off of the Ruby HD. So same concept, you've got those colored buttons. This housing is not a red or a black. This is actually a blue. That was APH choice color, was the blue. This also has rubberized bumpers around the edges. So right now I have 2 images of it on the screen, one of them with the handle folded out. So the nice thing with this is it's been kind of beefed up. I refer to it as a Ruby on steroids because it's a little bit more beefy, a little bit more robust. It's going to take more of a beating. And that's a great thing, especially for schools, right? The kids are not the easiest on some of these products. So the VideoMag HD is a continuous zoom of 2 to 13x magnification. You have a 4.3-inch screen versus the 5-inch on the Ruby XL HD. Again, that reading with no blur as you're gliding across the page. You've got your 20 high contrast customizable colors. It does store 5, so you can choose from 20, but the presets are 5. You can capture and store images on this as well. Up to 80 images you can capture and store. It does have an auto shut off after not using it. The battery life on this is a 2-hour continuous battery life. It ships with rechargeable batteries. The one thing I do like more with this unit is it takes rechargeable AAA batteries. So in a pinch, if you were out and about and you didn't have access to a power cable or a power cord to plug it in an outlet, you actually can just toss regular AAA batteries into this and it will work for you. The fold-away handle was designed with some rubber. It's very ergonomic. The weight of this unit is really nice too. I actually brought mine up here into my office earlier, but again, this comes with a carrying case. So the carrying case on this does have a belt loop as well and a shoulder strap, but it's very nice. Fold out handle, ergonomic, it's weight 50-50 ratio, so it's easy in the hands. And you can convert, or download all those images to a computer using the USB cable. So that is the Ruby, the VideoMag HD. And that again is on quota. And the price on quota for that is $499. I did have some images here. So on the left is an image from a conference. Obviously, this was pre-COVID, and there's a young lady there using it, reading the schedule for the conference. She actually was a Ruby user and had not seen the Video Mag HD. And so she wanted to check it out and compare it. And then on the right-hand side is a student that I was working with when the Video Mag HD first released in a school, and she's reading a comic book in her class using the Video Mag HD with the handle flipped out. So, Paul, I'm going to toss it back over to you for the next poll question.
All right, thank you very much. So this is a question about this product. So the capture function built into the Video Mag HD would be useful for which of the following? Capturing a homework assignment posted on the board, capturing an alternate class schedule posted on the door, capturing a geometry theorem solved in a group setting, or all of the above. So which would this capture function on the Video Mag HD be good to use for? Capturing a homework assignment that's put up on the board, an alternate class schedule, a geometric theory, or all of the above? And just to clarify something, Mike, about the battery. So
yeah,
does it come with rechargeable AAA batteries in it?
It does.
Okay.
Yep. So it does come with it will come with the batteries in it, and they are rechargeable, which is great. And then if you wanted to, you can always, add in regular AAA if those, again, if you're out and about and they die out and you don't have somewhere to charge those ones. But yeah, it does. Great point, Paul. It does come with rechargeable. Yep.
Mike,
yeah, go ahead, Betsy.
I apologize. This is Bethany Ann. I was just going to ask about a feature that I really appreciate on the Ruby XL HD, which is the reading stand. Does the Video Mag have a reading stand?
It does not. So the Video Mag HD sits kind of flat on the text, and versus the Ruby XL HD, which kind of sits at an angle. So that is a big design difference there on the two of them.
Thanks for clarifying.
You're welcome.
That was designed on purpose, though, Mike. I mean, the Video Mag HD will just rest on content, and you can move it up, down, right, and left, correct?
Correct. Yep. Yeah, that is correct. And so, and it was, I mean, there was a lot of work that went into, I know that APH did a lot of research in the marketplace first to figure out, what product to bring to market on quota for that handheld video magnifier. And then, of course, we worked together to figure out what we wanted as far as functionality and kind of beefing it up. I mean, some of the stuff that even went into it that I tell people all the time that I think is great is, and we should transition it to a lot of the regular line of Ruby, is on the handle where the batteries go, there's actually a little lock so that it doesn't open up as easy as on the regular Ruby.
Oh.
It can lock for the students. And then the other thing is I guess you'd call it the door, or the part that you open up to put where you put the batteries is actually latched on. So that can't be lost. On the regular Ruby, that part isn't latched on. So it is easy to disappear.
That's a really thoughtful feature for working with kids.
Yes. Yeah.
Who love to open little latches.
I was one of those kids. I'm definitely a button pusher, still am to this day. I like to, test everything out, see what's going on. And, I've traveled with this unit. This unit was one of the first production units that came out. And I've traveled with this for years. I've banged it around on desks in schools to show people how sturdy it is. And it's still ticking. I mean, just goes to show you. I mean, it's a solid product. It really is.
Great. Thank you. We've had about 55% vote, and feel free to drop your responses in the chat if that's a better way for you to respond to this poll question. But the capture function built into the Video Mag HD would be useful for which of the following? Capturing a homework assignment posted on the board, capturing an alternate class schedule posted on the door, capturing a geometry theorem solved in a group setting, or all of the above. 87% said all of the above. Which is the correct answer, Mike?
All of the above. It could capture any of those. Yeah, if they were doing the geometry theorem, if it was, as long as it's on the paper and not up on a board somewhere, they could capture it and store it on there. Yep. And Jim, you brought up a great point. yesterday, I think it was, we were talking about, prepping for some of this stuff, and it was using sight words, being able to store some sight words or vocabulary words in there. And then you can set it up to do kind of a slideshow to look through those images after the fact. So that was a great point.
How easy is it to get into slideshow mode on that? I noticed slideshow mode is an option. It seems pretty unique to the device.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to get into. It's basically, you're gonna press and hold you're testing my skills here. It's a press and hold of the camera button, and then it gets into the images. And then you can easily scroll through all of the images there too, if you wanted to do it manually.
Okay. Will it do it automatically or just manually?
I think on the video mag, I think it does it automatically as well, but I don't know how to set it up to do the automatic, to be quite honest. Okay. If anybody wants to do that, let me know and I'll clarify it. But yeah, you can do it manually, and I don't know the setting to do it automatically.
So you could use it with sight words. You could also use it with maybe, math facts as well, like multiplication tables, for instance.
Absolutely, yeah. And then you could download those to a computer with the USB cable too, if you wanted the images. Yep. So next product. So the next product is takes a lot of the functionality of those two and then adds more on top of it. So this product came out just about a year ago. This is the Compact 10 HD. And the HD that I've been mentioning, I should have said this earlier, stands for high definition. So that has to do with the camera that's in these products. So both the Ruby XL HD, the Video Mag HD, and the Compact 10 HD all have a high definition camera, and that helps with the image quality. So the Compact 10 HD is a 10-inch display screen. The nice thing with this is it gives you all of the benefits of a desktop video magnifier, but in a much smaller, foldable, portable design. So this is similar to the size of many of the tablets that we see on the mainstream market, an iPad or an Android tablet. But it adds in this fold-out arm that allows you to look at photos, fill out forms underneath it. So I have an image right now on the screen on the right-hand side too, showing that. If you're reading something on a package that's kind of big and bulky, right? You might have a box that gets delivered from Amazon, say, and you need to look at that. You can fold out that arm and you've got all of the space below the arm to actually view the material. And this also not only adds in that arm to give you full page viewing, but you also get full page OCR. OCR stands for optical character recognition. So this allows you to scan an image of text and then have it read it back to you. This unit is a touchscreen unit. It has an easy and an advanced mode. I really like that because when you're working with, starting off with the student, you can start it out in the easy mode, which is only going to give them some limited functionality. It doesn't let them get into the menus and really get in and change a lot of the settings. But once they get comfortable with the unit, you can then move them over to the advanced mode. I also work a lot with the senior market, and the same thing for them. It's great to start out on the easy and transition as they get more comfortable with the unit to the advanced. As I said, you can view, magnify text, objects, and photos. Super portable. I have mine here for that one too. Comes in a nice carrying case, and you've got 3 different multi-purpose cameras. So you can read text below it, you can write underneath that fold-out arm, and you can do some distance. So this would be great to take to, say, a McDonald's or another fast food restaurant, and where you're able to then hold this up and do a little bit of distance and view the menu and zoom into the menu. The magnification on this is 5x to 22x. You'll notice the magnification gets a little higher here because you've got a larger screen, a 10-inch screen. You can capture and save the snapshots, and you can go back to them at any time. This is a 4-hour continuous use battery. It is a rechargeable battery, and this weighs just over 2 pounds. So very lightweight. The only buttons on the outside of it are a power button, and then you've got an audio jack. Because this does read back to you, there are speakers built into this. You can change the voice from male, female. You can also change the language. So if you are reading something in Spanish, German, Italian, French, and you want to scan it in and have it read it to you in that native language, you can do so. It will not translate it for you, But if you have the text in that native language, scan it in, change the voice to that native language, this will then read that to you. If you don't have, obviously technology, right, changes quickly. It does have the audio jack, but if you're using Bluetooth speakers, this has Bluetooth built into it. So you can Bluetooth this to your headset or Bluetooth it to an external speaker as well. And it also has something called Miracast. A lot of the smart TVs come with Miracast. And what that will allow you to do is whatever is viewed on this screen, you actually can push out via Miracast to your large flat screen TV, your smart TV, and view it up on that screen large. So it's really nice. I do have a video here of the Compact 10, so it kind of gives you an idea of how it's used. And this kind of shows you in more of an office setting, but I did want you to get kind of some visuals of how the Compact 10 is used. Again, there's no audio on this. So, there's that carrying case. It's got the built-in reading stand, similar to the Ruby XL HD. You'll see there how it just glides easily across the magazine or across the text that you're reading. The touch screen for your plus and your minus, which is going to zoom in, zoom out. You can change your contrast. You also can pinch and zoom on this the same way you can on a lot of your tablets. There's that fold-out arm, which allows you to zoom in and fill out crossword puzzles, sign checks, fill out forms. I've worked with some people that are lawyers that use this, and they bring it actually to their clients. So their clients, if they're doing wills and stuff like that, a good friend of mine bought one to take to different meetings so that he can enlarge the document and have them read it and sign it, viewing this very easily. In the school setting, I have had students snapshot what they're going to present on. And then when they're up at the podium to present to the class, they actually just recall the papers in this, and they can zoom in, change the contrast, and present using this kind of as their notebook, I guess I would say, or instead of having papers, they would have everything stored on this digitally. So that's the Compact 10 HD. So this comes in 2 versions. And we did that purposely because, a lot of the products are not inexpensive, right? These are expensive products. They do a lot of cool functions, but they can be pricey. So this comes with speech or without speech. So you have 2 options. If you don't need the speech and you just need a magnification, with no speech, you are at $1,295. So just under $1,300. If you want the speech, it's $1,595. So just under $1,600 with speech. And that is the Compact 10. So Paul, I think we've got another poll question for you here.
We do. All right. So this one is a true or false question. The Compact 10 will only capture and run OCR on half a page. True or false? The Compact 10 will only capture and run OCR on half a page. And just to clarify again, this is a non-quoted product available from Vispero only and not from APH.
Correct. Thanks. Thank you for that, Paul. Yeah, this came out right about a year ago at CSUN, and it was unfortunate because it's a great product. We did do a video. So we've got, I know APH, you guys have a ton of stored webinars, and we may want to share that link if it's easy to get to, Betsy, of where you post all of your prior webinars that we've done or that you've done, APH has done. Some of them I've been on, I know, so that's why I'm saying we, but a great resource there. And then we have also done some as far as Vispero, and Optilec is Optilec Tube, and that's on youtube.com. You can go to optilec.com as well and find that. But we did one recently on the Compact 10 HD, and it kind of goes more in depth and shows you the functions and the menus, shows you how to scan and different settings and things like that. So it's more in depth. It was an hour-long session on just that product alone.
Mike, I think you said that this device will cast to another monitor, correct?
Correct. So this will, using Miracast, which is a lot of the smart TVs have it built in now. And so that's how it pushes it out. Yep. So it's a wireless transfer.
So in essence, then the Compact becomes sort of like a portable camera per se that the student would hold out in front of them, and then the math problem, for instance, or the map of the Oregon Trail would be on that larger monitor.
Correct. Yep, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
And is there any way to sort of reverse that and send something that the teacher was showing from the teacher's system then over to the Compact 10?
Great question. Not at this time, Jim. There's not. So that would be a great feature to be able to push from teacher to the student, but not at this time.
Okay.
No.
Well, we've had almost 50% respond to our poll question, so take just a few seconds if you'd like to respond either in the poll or in the chat. I've dropped in the chat the link to our APH webinars YouTube playlist. That's where we drop all of our previous webinars. We have tons there featuring Mike Wood as our co-presenter on some of the fabulous products that you've heard about today, like Video Mag HD and the Jupiter, which will be coming up at the end of this webinar. And I've also dropped the Optical YouTube channel, Optical Tube, there as well. So you can quickly access both of those resources to learn more about the products you're hearing about today. So with 50% having voted, the question, true or false, the Compact 10 will only capture and run OCR on half a page. 93% said false. Now, Mike, what is the correct answer?
So false is the correct answer because it can do a full page. So it will scan in a full entire page, 8.5 by 11, when you use that fold out arm. If you have it resting on top of text, so if you had it sitting in the reading stand, it will also capture that. That would do less, a smaller section of the page, but it will do a full capture on a full page. Great. So next product we're going to talk about is another non-quota product. We also just did a presentation on this, and that's on the Enhanced Vision YouTube page. I believe that should be up there posted now on the Transformer HD. So the Transformer is a pretty unique product because on the screen now I have kind of the way the Transformer transforms. So it folds up, and then as you open it up, it's got a couple different positions as far as for the camera. This will do self-facing, this will do distance and close-up magnification. So this has a full high definition 1080p autofocus 3-in-1 camera. So again, self-facing, reading, and distance. Magnification is up to 30x magnification when you have a 24-inch display monitor. So the cool thing with this product is this is multi-platform. This is going to be able to connect to, a regular old monitor that you would use with your computer or a large screen TV. You can connect it via HDMI. If you're using a laptop, you can connect it via USB 3 or via HDMI, or you can also use it connecting via Wi-Fi, which comes in handy when you're connecting it to an iPad or an Android tablet. When you're connected to a computer, you can use a full screen. So you can have full screen as far as for your magnification, or you can switch over to a split screen mode. You can record and save videos for later playback. It does have a built-in LED light, which helps with the scanning capability. And this is another one of those products that comes in two models. So you've got the model with OCR, which is optical character recognition, which is your scanning. So if you wanted it with that capability, you're looking at $2,995, so just under $3,000. If you wanted it without OCR, you just needed magnification and whatnot, it's $2,595. One of the newest and greatest things with the Transformer is that multi-platform functionality. So I mentioned you can use it with a PC, you can use it with an iPad, so iOS, you can use it with an Android operating system, and then you can also now use it with Chromebook, and you can use it with Mac as well. So with Chromebook, you can zoom in, magnify your reading materials, which this is great again, because you've got a lot of space in between the camera and the desk. In the image I have here now, you actually see it using the suction cup base, which is pretty unique. So I'm going to flip back to that other first slide there for a second. So in the first slide here, I've got the arms, or excuse me, the legs folded out. So that is how it's sturdy on a table. If you don't have a lot of space on your desk, you can actually use a suction cup base. So you now have just a small footprint for that product. It is battery operated, so you don't have to worry about power cords. If you're using this with the Wi-Fi connectivity and the built-in battery, it's literally no wires at all. You have no wires connecting to anything. You can capture and store notes, documents, and videos for later use. As I mentioned earlier, you've got the split screen when you're working on your PC. So you can be looking at a Word document and also looking at the board in your classroom and taking notes maybe in your Word document from the board. It has a couple different ways of accessing the functionality. On the transformer, you actually have tactile buttons along the back, which will allow you to zoom in, zoom out, change your contrast, flip the screen, so on and so forth. Or you can use the keyboard with keyboard shortcuts, or you can go into the menu and on the device you're using, there's actually large menu buttons that you can tap and choose and kind of drill down into what you're needing to do there too. It's lightweight, comes with a carrying case with a handle as well as a shoulder strap. 3-hour battery life. It comes with 2 3-hour batteries. So that should get you through the entire school day because that's 3 hours of continuous use. And it also comes with a charger. So you can have one of the batteries charging while you're using the other one. And it will also charge in the unit as well if you have it plugged in. So here I have an image of 2 students using this at, I believe it was a coffee shop or whatnot. And they've got it plugged in using the USB 3 into a laptop. And they're magnifying a textbook that they're both, so one of them's looking, or they're both looking at it on the monitor where they're able to enlarge it, change your contrast. And if they wanted to, they could scan that and have it read it out loud to them as well. So that's your transformer. And we just did a full 1-hour webinar on that recently too. And like I said, I think that's on our, that would be on our Enhanced Vision YouTube page. So back to you, Paul, for the poll question for the transformer.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
This one is a check all that apply question. So the transformer will work with which of the following platforms? Chromebook, DOS, iOS, Windows, Android, or Linux? Check all that apply. The transformer will work with which of the following platforms? Chromebook, DOS, iOS, Windows, Android, or Linux?
I got to say, Paul, I don't know now today, if you were to ask students if they even know what DOS is, do you think that they would know?
Oh my goodness.
Saying it's only allowing one answer.
We could.
I apologize for that. That is on me for building that out poorly in Zoom. I apologize, folks, for only being able to submit one answer.
That's all right. That's all right. Let's see what the one answers come in at. Well,
I guess we'll see what everybody uses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
And maybe we could get a shout out for everybody out there in the audience that remembers WordPerfect for DOS.
I do.
Yeah.
Paul, what are the commands? I'm sure you can remember the commands for spell check or whatever.
Oh, no, I can't remember that. I just remember it was version 4.1, I think.
I wonder if anybody in the audience could remember what some of the commands were.
If somebody in the audience remembers commands, I mean, I think that
they built DOS.
Yeah, they should.
I remember one DOS command that I shouldn't have never learned, which is ***, which.
Oh yeah.
And the day that the teacher taught us that, if you hit DEL ***, you'll delete everything. And I thought, I'll never do that. And I don't know what happened, but I ended up hitting it, and we had to reload everything on the system.
Oh gosh.
Like, you shouldn't have taught me that.
Yeah, no, right. Better not knowing that one.
So how long has the transformer been a solution with the Vispero group, Mike? Do you know?
So the transformer has been out for a couple years now. There's been a revamp of it. I guess probably a couple years ago with the Enhanced Vision line, we revamped it, changed out the camera, and kind of redesigned the entire product. And then the most recent upgrade or update was for the Chromebook compatibility. And that happened within the last year, or I guess a year and a half now, I should say, was the Chromebook capability. But it's been around for, a couple years now. And, the nice thing with it is that it is cross-platform. I think that's one of the only products really out in the market that does all of the different platforms.
Another Vispero only available product, non-quota.
Yes, correct.
All right. Well, we've had several people respond to our poll. And again, I apologize for not allowing that as a multiple choice answer. So Mike, can you walk us through what platforms the Transformer will work with?
Yeah, absolutely. So it will work with Chromebook. That was the latest and greatest. It will work with iOS. So if you're using an iPad or, a Mac desktop or whatever, a laptop, it will work with Windows and it will work with Android. So the two trick ones were DOS and Linux.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. No worries. Thank you. That's fun. So now the next product I want to talk about, I kind of mentioned earlier. I'm super excited for the next one after this, though, the new surprise product that we're sharing. But the Jupiter, I had mentioned earlier when I was talking about the Video Mag HD and how you would use it for spot reading. And then this would be the tool that you would really use for reading if you were reading more of a larger passage. The Jupiter is a quota product through APH. And it is, or was, I should say, last year, Jim, and correct me if I'm saying anything wrong here, but it was the #1 selling quota product last year from APH.
That is correct.
And, it's a great product. The camera image quality on this is spectacular. If any of you in the crowd have this, feel free to drop a note in the chat too and give it a shout out if you like it. Or if you don't even. Either way, it's a great product, portable. And again, you've got a full HD high definition 1080p camera. This will do distance, document, and self-facing. So earlier someone asked about the self-facing or self-viewing option. This would be the product for that. 13-inch screen. So you've got a nice size screen. 5-hour continuous use battery life. You've got settings in there where you can customize that to shut off after so many minutes or totally power down or just go into kind of the sleep mode. Kind of a unique freeze image option where you can freeze the image. You can then further zoom in and then you can actually kind of pan around on that image using the right-hand joystick or the right-hand button on the screen. 3 selectable magnification ranges. The customizable, I guess the function of being able to customize it for the student. So if they need to start out at a higher magnification range, they can start out anywhere from 1.4, 2, or 3.5x. The camera, you can move up and down the page. So on the right-hand side, I'm going to go back here for a second to that. I don't think it shows on any of the images I have. It doesn't, but there's actually a knob on the right-hand side of the product that allows you to move the camera, and that allows you to move it from doing distance, close-up, or self-facing, but also allows you to move it along the page of the book. So you don't have to move the book, you can move that using the camera. Weighs under 9 pounds. You have 35 color modes built into this. You can pick and choose which ones you want. And we've done a couple different webinars, I know, where we went more in depth on the Jupiter. And that this is a quota product again. And it's portable. It comes with a nice carrying case. I have mine here, down here. Where is it? And it is kind of a neoprene carrying case with a zipper and then a zipper pouch on the front. So that's where you can store your charging cable and a book or anything like that, or some papers. And great product, quality. It stood up, gosh, I remember, Jim, how long ago did we release that? Was that, you guys had it non-quota for a little while, right?
It was non-quota for, I think, part of 2019. Yep. And it was in, I think, maybe November of 2019 when we moved into what would we call our 2020 fiscal year that I think it became onto quota. So
quota. That's what I thought. I couldn't remember exactly, but I mean, I remember when it first came out, I got one of the first production units to show to schools, and that unit, gosh, traveled with me. I shipped it out to people to trial because we didn't have many of them yet. It was one of the first units, and when I traveled, I would put it in a Pelican case and check it on the airline. And every time I'd get to a show, I'd be like, please let the airline know. They beat up the luggage, and it always was great. Open it up and it went right to work. I think the big thing with this is the people are always amazed at the quality of the camera. So poll question off to you, Paul, for the Jupiter.
All right, thank you. So
you're welcome.
What is the battery life of the Jupiter portable magnifier? Is it 1 hour, 3 hours, 5 hours, or 7 hours? The battery life of the Jupiter portable magnifier. I need to say that 3 times fast. 1 hour, 3 hours, 5 hours, or 7 hours?
Now, Mike, the Jupiter lends itself for students to be able to write under it?
It does. So the nice thing is you've got a lot of room underneath that camera as well. So you can get, larger objects under there as far as if you have something, in your science class that you're looking at, but you can also write underneath there. Yes, absolutely can. Yep.
I know oftentimes teachers zero right in on, as the students are writing underneath something, that there's any sort of delay in that process. So can you maybe talk a little bit about any functions of the device or how it performs with the delay or lack thereof?
Yeah, so there's actually, one of the big things when you're using a device and writing under it is the focus, because these cameras are autofocus. And so sometimes they'll, the issue will be it's trying to focus on, when you're writing, you want it to be focusing on the paper, correct? Because you want to be reading what you're writing. You don't want it focusing on your hand or on the pen. So there is a focus lock on this where you can shut off the autofocus so that it will lock in and focus on the page. And then, yeah, it's got no issues as far as, the lag. I think the key thing is just training the student or the individual you're working with to get used to, because I find that it's difficult when we're so used to writing without viewing a monitor, when we're always just looking at the text itself, is training ourselves to look at that monitor and that eye-hand coordination. It takes a little bit to get used to. But once you get over that hump of doing that, yeah, there's no lag. It's great. I mean, the image quality again on that camera is spectacular. So for writing under it, again, looking at different objects and then the distance, I mean, the distance on that is spectacular. And that 1080p camera, people are always shocked at the quality.
I appreciate the suggestion there of using it for writing checks and logging those in a checkbook. That's another great suggestion.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, filling out homework assignments, checks. I always joke with people and say, if you're writing out checks, feel free. I'll give you my home address. Mail me one. Cash is better, but I'll take a check. But you can do so much with it, and there's just so many things. And again, we've done full webinars on this product. This also has some sister products through Vispero. So with APH, it's the Jupiter. It's a 13-inch monitor. We have a 15-inch and a 17-inch option too. So, we found for the school, the 13-inch is a great option because it's portable. The students, it's easy enough for the student to carry around. And a 13-inch monitor is a good size monitor. But if you find that you do need a larger one, there's a 15 and a 17-inch option available. And the same functionality. So if you have a Jupiter and you want to learn more about it, you can watch one of our Clearview Go, Merlin Mini, or Topaz Ultra videos, and it's the same functionality, just different colors and different colored buttons, but all the same menu functions. So
great, thank you, Mike. Well, we've had about 53% vote in our poll. What is the battery life of the Jupiter portable magnifier? 71% answered 5 hours, while 21% said 7 hours, and just 1% said 3 hours. What is the correct answer, Mike?
Correct answer is 5 hours. So most everybody guessed the correct answer there. 5 hours is it. And Linda, thank you for shout out there that Paul mentioned. Yeah, you're right with the checks, definitely. So the next product is kind of new and exciting. It's coming soon. I know we kind of did a very, very, very soft launch at CSUN, which happened a couple weeks ago. And that is the JUNO. So this is going to be a quota product. And the exciting thing with this is it is a 7-inch screen. I know earlier someone asked about the self-facing. So this product does have self-facing functionality. The nice thing is, for those of you that can see the screen here, I've got 3 images. One shows the left-hand side of the product, one shows the product looking at it face on, and one shows the right-hand side of the product. So you kind of see how it sits. Built-in reading stand sits at an angle. You're going to have that high-quality camera that you'll have no glare, no blurring as you're moving across the text. The camera is a pivoting camera, so you can move that camera barrel on the top to do a little bit of distance, tabletop magnification, so for reading, and then self-facing as well. It does have a 13 megapixel camera. Magnification on this is going to be 2 to 30x magnification. So those of you that are here today are kind of getting a sneak peek, because I don't think we've really talked that much about this yet. I know it was mentioned at one of the big, the CSUN conference that just happened, but there hasn't really been much talk yet on the JUNO. But I'm looking forward to this coming out. It's going to be a nice product, nice big tactile buttons on the front for your magnification, zooming in and out. It's also going to be touchscreen, and yeah, a lot of other functionality too that I think you'll be excited to know about once this releases. So I do want to make sure that if there's any questions after the fact, you have my email again, mwood@vispero.com. Also, check out our Freedom Scientific training page. There's links on there. We didn't talk about software today, but there's also some webinars, and there's also some resources about our software. There's also webinars that we're offering with ACVREP credits. And feel free, to go on there and check those out. And so with that said, time for Q&A before and don't leave after Q&A, because there's 2 more slides that I want to show that I want to make sure we give some plug for some cool products. But any Q&A before I go on to them with anything that I've covered. Good question, Linda. I'm not even sure yet. Jim, do you know where we're going to price the JUNO yet? I don't know if have we released that?
So I believe that we are aiming to price the product somewhere around $1,000. So that is the intention. So whether it's a bit above or whether it's a bit below, there are some things outside of our control, but that is the hope.
Okay, great. Yeah, see, I wasn't even sure of that, but I know it's going to be a powerful tool. It's going to be nice. I'm looking forward to it. So good question, Linda. Any other questions, comments?
May be helpful just to point out, folks may or may not realize, because sometimes we think Vispero and Freedom Scientific, but there's also Optical and Enhanced Vision, and each one has their own products. So if you have questions about any of them, or you're not sure how to find one, or you need information, Mike's an excellent resource for that. And he's got all that information, and he can share that with you. Maybe you can't find one of the products on the website, or you're not sure which one does what. Mike's an excellent resource for that. He'd be happy to share the information with you if you need it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Paul. And, and if there's, like I mentioned earlier, if you want to trial a Jupiter, if you've got a student or an individual you need to trial it with, I'm happy to send out a Jupiter, I said JUNO. I can't send that out yet. But I can send out a Jupiter or a Video Mag HD for you to trial, or any of the other products. And, at the bottom of the slide there, you've got the different brands. There's also TPGI, which is our services division. and that does website accessibility and kind of has some different products to kind of scan your website, make sure that everything is, you know, compatible and accessible for people using screen readers and whatnot too. So if there's no more questions, feel free to still pop them in the box. I know that we have 2 more slides here. One of them here is about the Career Connect. Was that for you to chat about, Paul?
It can be. I think the Code Jumper one is first. Is that right?
Nope, but I can pop over to the Code Jumper one here first. So check out the Code Jumper. I've got up on the screen right now, which I was able to see this when before it was available. And this is just super cool. I mean, I just think of the kids that would, you know, play around with this. I would have loved this as a student. And yeah, I talk more about it because I thought this was super neat. I think I saw it at, one of the Braille conferences, getting in touch with Braille literacy it was at.
Yeah, we've had it at several conferences and showed it off even before it was available on sale. But coding solution for individual instruction, for group instruction, teachers, parents can use it. And it teaches block coding through sounds, and there's quite a number of sounds that come with it. There's also the ability to add your own sounds to it. Codejumper.com is the place to learn about it. There's a very in-depth curriculum that's available. Some of the lessons are things that you can do even if you don't have a kit, just to give you an idea what it's like. It's on quota for $795. It's also available for $999, not on quota. So yeah, it's a great product. It's fun, and it's one that I would have enjoyed as a child, and still do, just because of all the sounds and all the things you can do with it. And it's one of those things you're learning and doesn't feel necessarily like learning, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that, and the cool thing is the fact that, you know, you can use this with or without sight, right? And I mean, so you kind of can get engaged with the classmates. And I just think that kids would love it. I mean, I think of all the different STEM schools or STEAM schools out there now, you know, doing all the science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And this is like a super cool product. I think every school should have one of these to play with. And
there's a new app available on Android, so you can use it on Chromebooks, Braille Note Touches, and Mac Connects. So there are, you know, it's not just Windows now. There's the Android app available as well. So sure, let's go ahead back to Career Connect.
Yeah, sure thing. Just did. I bounced you back there.
Fantastic. So there is a job seekers toolkit available on there, which is very in-depth. I mean, it goes from the most basic stuff to much, you know, more in-depth and involved information on networking and resume writing and all those things. So really getting started on job search all the way through the more advanced skills with interviewing. There's a job board that's available that's updated continually. Transition students can benefit from it. Adults can benefit. If you're blind and visually impaired, if you're working with someone who's blind and visually impaired, student, a child, a client, they can go to aphcareerconnect.org and get all that information. Very much updated, all the content and everything. And we're very pleased that that's available now. And all that information is there.
And now, Paul, is this totally free if you want to go and get like access to learning how to fill out or write a resume?
All those things are free. You can download that toolkit. You can read it, search the job board, whatever you want to do. All that, everything on there is free.
That's pretty cool. That's neat. I've been to many resume or taught people how to fill out their resumes over the years. And yeah, you know, that's your first, that's what they're seeing first, right? Oftentimes they're not meeting you. They're getting a resume in the mail. So that's the first impression. So you got to make sure it's a good one. Cool. And with that said, that concludes our slides and concludes the Vispero APH webinar on low vision products. If there's any other questions, feel free, drop them in the chat or drop me an email after the fact. I'm more than happy to answer that or answer those questions.